What's up guys, welcome back. In today's video we're going to be looking at a modified grass hole team. I know it's been kind of done a lot, but it's a good team if you are struggling, if you seem to be hitting a wall. I personally am. I got to like 2800 and then I went back down to like the mid 2500s, just can't seem to get a good streak going. So if you are struggling, or maybe you haven't even gotten to, that next level yet, ace or veteran, try this team out because I think it has a little bit more consistency to it, and so you're gonna find that you're having more consistent results, and you're probably winning a little bit more once you get good with this team. So instead of Bastiodon in the lead, we're gonna have Galarian Stunfisk. Now, shout out to Sam6IL, Sam IL for this set that he submitted to me. The advantage of having Stunfisk, there's pros and cons. The pro is that it's more versatile, it's quicker to get to charge moves, and it can hit more Pokemon for neutral damage that are popular in the meta. For example, water types like Politoed, Azumarill. Earthquake does neutral damage, and so it's a lot better to be in a matchup against Azumarill with G-Fisk as opposed to Bastiodon. Bastiodon is very slow to charge. Yes, it does wall the flyers, which is the benefit that has over Galarian Stunfisk, but Galarian Stunfisk gives you a little bit more versatility. And yeah. And okay, of course, the Razor Leafers are pretty self-explanatory. If you run into any sort of lead that you don't like a counter user or a water user, something that's super effective against you, just switch into a Razor Leafer, draw out their counter, hopefully maybe get an acid spray off or just get some damage, get a shield maybe, and then farm up with your steel type, and then try to close off with your other Razor Leafer. So that's kind of the general strategy. Razor Leaf is so powerful, especially if you have a Shadow Victory Bell. If you don't have a Shadow Victory Bell, I would suggest Grottle is a good one, or Torterra is a good one, because Torterra actually has Stone Edge, which can fight against the flyers, so it has that good coverage. So if you don't have it, just look at some other options. Another one is another Razor Leafer. We have, I said Grottle already, Tropius. I don't know how many people have that, but just experiment with it and see how it goes. Let's just have a look at the set and see what happens. Whoops, I already started it early. Let's go back. Okay, so first opponent actually has, I put all the opponent's teams on the screen so you can see them already, so you know what to expect ahead of time. You can see there we have a couple good leads in this lineup of 5 teams. This one is a neutral lead. Obviously, it's a mirror lead, so it's very neutral. And I would say the Shiftry lead in Game 5 is also kind of a neutral lead, just depending on how you determine or how you decide to shield. But Azumarill, of course, is not a good lead for you. So we're going to see how he handles that in Game 4. So going back to Game 1 here, the opponent makes a very, very good swap. Very, very good swap, and swaps into Altaria. Now, Altaria, good matchup for Stunfisk, so just stay in. So Samuel here stays in and is going to just throw Rock Slides. So the Rock Slide, super effective damage, and let's see. Don't really need to shield anything from the Altaria. Just take the Sky Attacks and just let it go. Okay, so save your shields for the Razor Leafers, especially probably Shadow Victory Bell. Definitely a Pokemon you'll want to save a shield for. Now here, just going to have to go for the Earthquake, and then the health is too low to save it, so just going to let it go. It's going to get farmed down, but able to get a Rock Slide, so it'll do very, very small chunk damage, but I guess it's better than nothing. And he gets a shield, so that was definitely, maybe the opponent lost count and was expecting an Earthquake, so that's why. So that was a really good, fortunate turn of events there, getting that shield. Okay, Earthquake, almost one-shotting the Victory Bell, so that was a gutsy move by not shielding, and just going to go for the farm down with this Whimsicott. And going to not shield, expecting a Rock Slide, or expecting an Earthquake, which is resisted, so that was a good one. And then, I guess it was good that they saved the shield, because now they can shield this Night Slash, or I'm imagining it's going to be like, oh, okay, Leaf Blade. Could have thrown a Night Slash, but maybe they're not running Night Slash. They could be running something else. But definitely need to shield that because you're running out of time. And going to go for the Grass Knot, which will knock out the G-Fisk. And this is very close. You can see here just the power of Razor Leaf taking out that Steel type. Of course, I think Rock is weak to it, so I think Grass might be neutral, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so Razor Leaf is just super, super powerful. Any Pokemon that takes neutral damage from Razor Leaf is going to have a hard time against these Pokemon. So which is why this team is so consistent. Again, some players don't like this team because they think it's too easy, but who cares? At the end of the day, you need to get that Pikachu Libre, and if you don't have it yet, there's no shame in using a team that, you know, is just more consistent. I mean, it's overpowered and a lot of people like it, so you know, there's definitely good merit to using this team. Okay, so this next opponent looks like he's struggling with the Q time, so let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, he's gonna restart the Q. Okay, gets him matched up with G-Stunfisk, and this is gonna be an Altaria lead, so this is definitely a very, very good lead. Let's see how the opponent reacts when they see the Galarian Stunfisk. Let's see if they stay in or switch out. Looks like they're going to stay in. So I don't know if this is the best play. They're trying to catch a Rock Slide. Okay, so that was a good strategy. If you could have caught the Rock Slide, that would have been very, very good. But switches into Azu, and then definitely going to come in with the Razor Leafer. Either one would have been fine. And in fact, in this case, Whimsicott could have been okay, because then you could have thrown a Moonblast at the Altaria. But that's okay. Still in a commanding position. Gonna go for the Acid Spray here, knowing because Leaf Blade won't do a lot of damage. So by throwing an Acid Spray, it makes it more easily farmable. So when this Victory Bell, when this Victory Bell ultimately goes down, it'll be much easier to farm up. And then he goes to farm with Whimsicott. So very interesting play here because he's expecting the Altaria to come back. So goes for the farm down, but then leaves it, lets it, probably just use it as a shield. So that was a very interesting play there. Very good. You could tell when they played this team before because they make plays that you might not expect just looking at the first time. So he basically used the Whimsicott as a shield and then saved that last shield for the Galarian Stunfisk, and knows that they can out-spam the Altaria, and then this should be a good game here. So very, very well played. Definitely could have played that a number of different ways, but winning that lead definitely gave him a lot of options. And so by doing that, winning that lead gave him a lot of options to win this match, and played it very well, I think. And yeah, this Rock Slide it's actually going to be close. I don't know if it's going to KO from here. Let's just see. I think it's going to be really, really close. Yeah, really, really close. But the good news is resist Sky Attack, so that's not going to be an issue. And should be able to get to it. It's going to be really close, though, because those Dragon Breaths do chunk down a little bit, whereas Mudshot does not because it's resisted by the Altaria, but going to get to it, and there you go. All right, so now this third game is going to be a very favorable lead. And so this one should be pretty straightforward. You see there, they also have a Shadow Victory Bell. So it's going to be very interesting how they play. Will they get into a mirror match or not? Let's see. And they actually are also running a Galarian Stunfisk. So it's a very similar team, just a different order. And of course, this is very beneficial for Sam because, yeah, G-Fisk will beat Marowak, assuming you shield. Now, because Marowak, this is a tip I personally like to do. Because Marowak has a 3-turn Fire Spin move, I like to throw 3 Mud Shots at a time before, and then I try to do a fast move denial. It doesn't always work, but if I can get it to work, it puts me ahead. It makes sure that the opponent does not get any extra Fire Spins in, which is very, very crucial when you are in these kind of semi-neutral matchups. This is still favorable, but still, you don't want to let a Marowak get an extra Fire Spin in. So just because a Bone Club is so spammy. So you want to kind of prevent that from happening. So I tend to throw 3 Mud Shots because that's 6 turns. 2 Fire Spins is 6 turns, so I kind of try to line them up like that. If you ever want me to elaborate more on that, I think the best way to do it is just catch one of my live streams because I can like show you as I'm doing it. So twitch.tv/JRskatr, shameless plug. But anyways, let's go. Okay, G-Fisk realizes they're not going to win, so they switch out, or they concede the match. All right, so 3-0, and now we're going to see him run into a not favorable lead here against the Azu. So let's see how he plays this one. This is going to be interesting. Now, the Swampert is also a very good Pokemon for him because the Razor Leaf will just completely melt it, but Skarmory poses a big threat. So let's see what happens. Switching in, going to get locked in, and it looks like he's going to go for the Acid Spray to soften it up and then farm up a bunch of energy with, I would imagine, Stunfisk. I can't imagine him coming in with a Whimsicott here because that Skarmory has a lot of energy and it's going to be too hard to farm down from this range. So going to come in with Stunfisk. Don't need to shield this. Even if it's a Brave Bird, it will only do maybe like 25% damage, maybe 30%. Of course, it also lowers the defense. And the Acid Spray already lowered it, so I don't imagine they would throw a Brave Bird right away. They're just going to go straight Sky Attack. It is chunking away, though, at the Stunfisk. That's, again, one of the advantages of having Bastiodon is completely wall Skarmory. You don't need to shield anything, and you'll never be in either any danger of losing HP whereas Stunfisk, you can see, took quite a bit of damage there. But again, if you don't have a Bastiodon, this is a very good alternative. Okay, gonna go for that shield. Definitely go for Earthquake. I would definitely recommend doing this as well. Gets the shield, and that's fine because he still has 2 shields himself. So, you know, no risk at just going for the Earthquake. Okay, takes a Hydro Cannon, and now it's just gonna completely chunk away. This should be a Hydro Cannon, but gonna shield just to be safe. And that wouldn't have done that much damage anyways, but just to be safe, gonna shield it. And then against an Azu, this should be game over. I don't think this Azu is gonna get to 2 Ice Beams in time. It takes 5 bubbles to get to an Ice Beam. And in that amount of time, you know, for every 2, you can get 3, 6. You'll get like 7 Razor Leafs in that amount of time, which would KO. So, good game there. Bad lead, but also helpful that they had another water type. So, yeah, that Skarmory did pose a threat, but was able to farm up with the G-Fisk and then pressure shields with Earthquake. So very, very good. Bastiodon would not have pressured shield as much on because Rock's Stone Edge and Flamethrower are both resisted by Swampert. And so Earthquake being a neutral move made it a lot more of a threat. So that's good. Okay, this is a neutral matchup. Decides to switch out into Whimsicott to draw out their counter, which they have a Bastiodon. So this is actually not bad because once this thing goes down, gonna come in with the Stunfisk and then farm it up and then can unload all the energy on that defense Deoxys that they have in the back. So let me know in the comments if you like seeing the teams ahead of time or if you want me to kind of keep them as a surprise. I was just trying to play around with different things. I thought maybe it'd be kind of helpful to kind of give some foreshadowing just so you guys know what to expect. But again, I want to know what you guys think. So in the comments, if you can, let me know, do you like seeing all the teams so you can kind of check out the leads ahead of time? Or do you want to just see them as they go? Let me know in the comments if you don't mind. That'd be very much appreciated. Thank you. All right. Gets the Bastiodon. Very, very low health on the Stunfisk, though. But has a ton of energy. Ton of energy. Gonna go for the Rock Slide. Gonna hope to get a shield here. Doesn't get the shield. Very, very good no shield by the opponent. Because that could have easily been an Earthquake. But then we'll get a shield here. And now this is where Razor Leaf, just so powerful. All you need to do is shield, keep this alive, and then that defense Deoxys has no pun intended, but it has no defense. It can't do anything against those Razor Leafs. And even the Shiftry, resisting the grass moves, you still see it takes huge chunk damage, and then throw an Acid Spray on top of that. Look at that. That's like basically a super effective move at that point. Even though grasses resist grass, it's just the Razor Leaf power, especially from a Shadow Victory Belt, it's just so powerful. There's very, very little you can do against a Shadow Victory Belt other than have a flyer, really. Like have it in not just any flyer, but like a Skarmory type of flyer, because Pelipper could still take neutral damage and that would still hurt a lot. And so you can see there, Shadow Victory Belt. Hey, if you need to win and you're running out of time, I would highly suggest using it. It's a very, very powerful Pokemon. You can get a lot of consistent 3-2 and 4-1 sets. And in this case, a 5-0 set. So yeah, if you guys like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.